Hello, everybody. We are sculpting Art the Clown, and our volume is still up.
It's weird. I'm pretty sure I turned the volume down.
Okay, it should be off now. Yeah, it's off.
Okay. Thank you for that test. So, what's new? What's shaking?
Well, we are filling in a little bit around the base. I put the eyes in after last stream, so he has eye forms now.
Ooh, eyeballs. Fancy.
And we are probably getting about ready to start some of the either larger details or very much smaller forms, depending on how you want to look at it. Because I think the general proportion is about there, give or take. Starting to kind of look like Art the Clown.
Yeah, he is.
Still have some more little tweaks, obviously. But that will probably be a thing right up until we really start finishing off and putting in the final skin texture and stuff. So Art skin texture is going to be a little bit of an experiment too.
How so?
Because this is an unusual scale, so sometimes you have to kind of feel out how much or how little skin texture you really want. Like, you typically don't want just a flat surface, but if you have a crazy amount of skin texture on something this small, it will look weird. Unless it's like a monster with really leathery skin or bumpy skin or lizard skin or something like that, then you can have quite a lot. But Art's kind of got a not too atypical kind of latex mask texture going on. So if I went like really big with the texture, it would look very unusual. Oh, I also made Art an even smaller Witto hat. inch. I think that works.
It's ridiculously
It
tiny.
is ridiculously tiny, but I think I like it
Yeah.
for this sculpt. Art's hat always seems like like he's got a tiny hat, but he's got like he's got a small hat, not a tiny hat.
So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to like mold that separately and then use it to like put in the hole?
Like theoretically, you can do almost anything you want. In terms of like, is that a good idea? Almost assuredly not.
Because people will drop it.
Because people will drop it. We have to take it to shows and things. Like it's an extra chunk. And then what do you like? How do you deal with the piece in the kiln as well? Because it'll stick to the
fire separate.
Well,
well,
yeah,
usually
she would
with
fire
the lid, the rim of it is not glazed, right?
No, the rim typically isn't glazed. Sometimes they fire them in place so that they don't shrink oddly, which would definitely be a thing. But that would leave a space. Like, we don't really question an unglazed rim on a piece of pottery that has a lid. But it might be weird if it's a figure and it has just a bald spot of no glaze.
Well, the mug would still be glazed the same way.
Yeah. Except if you wanted to put it in place because everything warped like hell in the kiln, which was pretty probable.
Suck less.
It's not really a suck less kind of thing. This is why my wife does not fire the kiln, really. But yeah, it's a separate parts tend to add a lot of complexity that we don't want unless we absolutely need it. What up, Pain?
Yo.
How's things? We're doing okay.
Happy Canada Day!
Yes, it is. It is Canada Day. Still trying to figure out the new med for Tiger. Michaels is very mysterious like that. Did you see that they're going to be carrying monster clay at Michael's? I haven't seen any in person. I also don't think I've been inside of Michael's since they started doing that. But
Yeah.
you know, it's good that they have that. Make it a little easier to get for people that don't have options. Yeah, well, I mean, she's always been a picky eater, so. So do you have the transdermal rub upon the ears meds? Like is it a complication in getting her to allow you to rub stuff into her ears, or is it a complication of where do I source these meds? Because either or would be believable. Ah. You do have a convenient-ish compounding pharmacy in the area. Wait, Chewy does compounding? I know back in the day they used to do the odd pet med at regular pharmacies. Well, I wouldn't imagine there's a whole lot of black market call for thyroid medication. It's not a painkiller or something like that. I mean, I suppose. And we do not kink shame on this channel, but mostly, okay, maybe a little, but for fun. We do kink shame the bots. Or do we kink encourage the bots? We keep trying to bait them, and it hasn't been working. Yeah, I think Art the Clown is looking Art the Clown-y-ish. I mean, they asked for them. We made we may have put some pictures up. Feeling cute. Yeah, we really haven't got anywhere near as much of that stuff in the past little bit. It was pretty frequent, but it's dropped off a lot with offers to be super secret Instagram influencer models. Which you'd think with the bigger following you'd have more of that, but not so much. I presume you're referencing, oh, what was it, Jugoth? Pretty sure it was called Jugoth, which I have to assume is combining the word jewelry and goth.
Yes.
But, you know. I don't know what kind of bot list we've been on. I mean, that was a whole thing. They did make his medallion a Star of David at one point. That's one of those very like, did someone just not think through their design process very well, or did they think they would slip something past the sensors? Because that could really go either way. I mean, that is indeed a thing that happened. But I can explain. I'm dyslexic and don't always count that that thoroughly. Five points, 6 points. It's very close. I mean, sure, we say that now. When you're trying to draw a pentagram, it's kind of one standard size up triangle and one doing a handstand. Kind of makes sense sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and argue about who may or may not have committed a mild hate crime completely by accident. making a Baphomet tree ornament. Yeah, the makeup is like a significant portion of Art's look. I forget. Did we fix the pentagram, or did we just let that roll for hilarity's sake? I genuinely can't remember. Hmm. Ah, that's a good substitution. I get called on to stick Leviathan crosses on stuff reasonably frequently. I do not know if it has an alchemical meaning or not. I don't remember. Sulfur or brimstone. Okay, I would buy that. What?
There's a symbology wiki.
Yes. Yes, there is. Nothing for symbolism. Oh, I don't remember if you popped on to the stream before or after I demonstrated Art's new tiny hat.
After.
Art has new tiny hat. Wait, have goth chicks stopped rocking the tiny hat? Almost seems like goth fashion doesn't really have things that go away. It just kind of proliferates into weirder subsets. Weirder or less weird subsets, I suppose, occasionally. There was a pretty reasonably high proportion of goth chicks at our last outing, and I think I saw all the hits. Everything from ripped up black jeans to the big tall chonky boots. I don't feel like I remember seeing. I don't think anybody was rocking the chucks. Maybe they just don't stand out. Or maybe it just wasn't the occasion for those. Well, we saw chonky boots, we saw uh super skinny combat boots. Um I did not see specifically any black and bright green kind of scene kid standard combo. Yeah, maybe chucks are definitely still a thing, but the show was a little bit more of a formal occasion. They're like goth casual. I did see Garbage to Goth's new Bondage Jesus in person. That was fun. What is her name? Do you know what her name is? Garbage to Goth, the one that does the like the Precious Moments figurines over.
Shit.
A lot of her stuff is like little Precious Moments figurines. That get the goth treatment, and they are good fun. I'm reasonably certain she's just Garbage to Goth on Instagram.
Okay, so what about it?
I don't know if I ever got her actual right name. Not that it really matters.
Actual name?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Marissa J.
Marissa.
Perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, it's one of those we probably introduced ourselves at one point, but we barely use proper names for the people that we really know well at these things.
This is true.
Where is my? There it is. Yeah, she'd done a pretty cool like shibari bondage Jesus, and also a monster Labubu. Which I feel pretty good about where our Instagram or whatever algorithm is headed, because I did not know what the fuck a Labubu was.
I only recently
until
I guess they're the new thing. The new hot thing.
Yeah, we weren't notified about them until the taking the piss version started coming out. I'm pretty sure they're La Boo Boo, not Lou Boo Boos, but they could be. They kind of look like they kind of look like a slightly Funko popped up Chichimon. Was that what those things were when we were kids?
No.
Like little monkey toys?
I do know what Moshichi?
Munchichis.
So Chichimon is a fairy.
Chichimon is a fairy.
Yes, up in Tobori.
Oh.
Moshichi.
Munchichis, yes. I don't know, it's kind of got a similar vibe, but with like a slightly more simplified and bigger eyes.
So does she not know what we're talking about?
I don't know. Maybe Payne's algorithm is pretty reasonably sanitized as well. From the latest silly ass trend. Maybe not the latest silly ass trend, probably the beginning to wind down silly ass trend.
Seeing as we've heard about it.
It's the Beanie Baby, or those pillow things. Squishmallows. Which I'll at least hand it to the Squishmallows. Those things are comfy.
There.
You have a pink kitty Labubu or Squishmallow.
Oh, yes. I mean, we have several squishmallows.
We yes, I think.
Probably more than we need.
Well, we have a few of them and probably some knockoff versions, or maybe
I
not.
think they're mostly real ones.
They're mostly real ones.
Because it's not like they're expensive.
I mean, they're all real. I can touch them.
Yes, you probably will be. Are you coming on Thursday?
Wait, now you're coming on Thursday?
I thought you were coming Friday.
We can have.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that would have been a thing.
I mean, either way, it doesn't matter, but
we could have had.
it's good to know.
We could have had an actual like live paint on live stream. That would have been a thing.
Special guest.
Special guest. We should have special guests. Who could we get as a special guest? Rope Shred into it.
We could have.
We could.
I have a feeling Shred has no interest in being a special guest on our show.
I have that same feeling. But we might still be able to rope her into it. We have been discussing making a latex wig stand head thing for Shred's salon. And or herring and styling a mask. I think between the two of us we could do a halfway decent job. Herring masks is a whole thing. Hmm. Oh, that's right. We need to take you out for your treatment tomorrow. When is that again?
1:30.
1:30.
I need to be there early. I just can't remember how
I would assume they sent you a message or something that you can refer to. I would hope they didn't just tell you, over the phone with their mouths.
I did write stuff down though.
Oh, good God.
I know.
So they have no idea how to deal with you yet.
Nope. Why would they?
I imagine at some point I'm going to end up making a some sort of a like weird monster porcelain doll thing. And we might need to get Shred to consult on the hair.
Somebody in Hamilton is selling plaster molds
Uh-huh.
for like hands and legs and head
Okay.
and stuff.
I mean, that stuff is fun, but I really don't need more plaster molds than I already have to deal with. I gotta do something with the opposite end of those Kemper tools. Hmm. I haven't really given it too much thought. I think it would be kind of fun to do like a Pennywise I could do a Joker one. I think. Yeah, I think I definitely could do a Joker one. I think I might do... Yeah, I could try something like that. I kind of want to do like a, as much as I can, at least try like a like vintage 70s hobo clown kind of makeup with the stubble look, and we have a Seamus. Yeah, the weird like painted on beard stubble. And I also want to do, obviously, a bunch of different like color light sort of variations, because they have made pretty good use out of that in the movies, and various amounts of, you know, blood spatter and things like that. All the obvious ones. Some kind of a flesh variant art with like real demonic looking like broken veins and stuff might look cool as well. Seamus, what you doing? Don't roll back too far. I mean, I would think as much as she hangs out in your office, by this point, she probably knows to avoid your office chair.
Ignore me.
I don't want to ignore you. Oh. She probably did come to contribute here, but she probably came to make a noise and disturbance off camera, and then refused to be picked up and put on camera. I mean, there is the cat tax, but Seamus is an inveterate tax evader. She's climbing on me. Now she's climbing on me.
She's fighting it. You fighting it. You're such a load. Hey.
This one really loves having her ears gone. Are you getting attention now? Does that please you? You're getting your hair all over me. Yeah, that'd be a thing. If Seamus ever needs beds rubbed into her ears, she'll be into it. Funny thing is, I don't even think she has like itchy ears or anything.
Now? Nope.
She doesn't really itch her own ears in any way. She just really likes having her ears petted and her whole damn head. She's a very big fan of having you pet her whole damn head. It has this sort of weird structure inside of a hollow on the temples. The open space at the top of his head covering. I don't know if I've noticed that. He's got the little reservoir tip going on. See a couple of references I have where he's got like a bit of a wrinkle going on. Apparently there is a new Terrifier 1 super high-res Blu-ray coming out. I think so. Pretty sure it's like an Ultra HD. I literally just saw the post today. Nice. You can really see the rubber in the old rubber suits. Oh, really? Which one is Biolante again? Because I thought it was the weird, like... Yeah, okay. I mean, 89 is still somewhat newer than I was thinking. Flower plant creature, okay. I was thinking it was the not the like knockoff oh, I can't think of the name of the turtle one now. Gamera.
He's really neat.
He is really neat.
He is made of turtle meat.
Yes. Yeah, I thought there was like an extra spiky knockoff Gamera thing.
I think I missed this stuff. What are we talking about?
Payne ordered a super high res Godzilla Blu-ray. There's Biolante. There's apparently the flower critter. Remember that one?
Okay.
Kind of looks like a big sunflowery thing or something.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Biolante was the off-brand, more of a rose. Wait, were there more than one weird plant Godzilla thing, or am I thinking about an Ultraman? I could be thinking about an Ultraman kaiju too.
I think I just figured out why my computer's running so slowly.
Why is that?
Because it's fall. I'm assuming because I got halfway through the process of backing up all those pictures the other day and then lost interest. So they're all just sitting on my computer. Should probably finish that.
I mean, man, I am not displeased by the amount of storage on the new business phone. I've tried to keep it clean, but it really hasn't needed it. I was kind of doing it as just, force of habit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it's ever gotten above like 40% full. There were so many Ultraman kaiju. I mostly I watched Godzilla versus King Ghidorah fairly often because I had an old VHS of that. And I had a couple. I had one of the ones with Mecha Godzilla. I never really cared for Mecha Godzilla as much. But most of the rest of them I kind of watched more in passing than really watch them. I don't know, I never really, the design on Mecha Godzilla just didn't hit for me. I think it may have been because of how cool and goofy and wrinkly the the old Rodan and I mean Mothra to a lesser extent. Mothra hasn't really changed that much. I don't remember seeing a Mothra that looked that incredibly different. No, I haven't seen the newer ones. I've not seen the new Mothra. Mothra was in the versus King Ghidorah one that I had. Both in grubbly and mothly form. I mean, I thought Mothra usually had kind of a furry face. I mean, it was more pronounced in a couple of them, but like some of the monsters have gone through some crazy changes. Did never understand why, for whatever reason, the Godzilla versus King Kong, like that's the most common remade ones. Like the old Godzilla versus King Kong ones were some of the most fun uh monster fight sequences, I guess. Angry. That could be.
The many evolutions of Mothra. Even his final form.
Have you been sent many Mothras? Oh. Yeah, I really don't mess with uh the CG Godzilla's too much. Um the new Godzilla or the new Mothra? If there is there a new Mothra? I didn't I didn't mind Thick Godzilla. I know a lot of people weren't fans of Thick Godzilla, but I thought it was okay. I did not really care for the night, like the one with Cusack. That version of Godzilla was like it wasn't that cool looking, and it took all the really cool, fun Godzilla-iness out of the Godzilla. I'm trying to think if I have a favorite like kaiju. I don't really think I do. I think I have different. I appreciate many different kaiju for many different reasons.
Of all your little children.
No, not all of them, but
Okay.
um well, like there were some really goofy looking. Oh, yes, I was never. I mean, I that's kind of how I watched oh yeah, Verdon. Yeah, I watched a lot of the old Godzilla ones. I sort of like skipped to the monster fight because yeah, no, I don't need to watch the the tedious Japanese child Ebira. Ebira and like those are both familiar names, but I'm really struggling to figure out to place which one is which. Is Hidora is the two-headed? And Abra, the horror from the deep, the not the crab one, the octopus one, or the crab one? Oh, the living sludge one. Mm. Living sludge was fun. Like the fights with it were fun, but I wasn't that amused by the design. But yeah, the glowing eyes were not bad. I'd actually like to see like Hedera revamped. I think that could be pretty cool. Like if you're gonna do a CGI monster, something like a Hedera could definitely be a thing because you could take advantage of that atmospheric effect that you can get. Yeah, like there's like I enjoyed the design of Chonky Godzilla because it was different enough, but it still kind of it was cohesive, like it made sense. Whereas the Cusack era Godzilla, like it didn't hold together for me. Like weirdly thick legs and like a skinnier top. But it was like no, it wasn't different enough to be cool or interesting. It was kind of like they just went, we're gonna make Godzilla, just kind of basic Godzilla, but we're gonna like modernize it and take all the character out of it. I don't know. I even like the old like dorky Godzilla when they would have Godzilla with the baby version of Godzilla and they gave it the big googly eyes. The baby wasn't that interesting. I would have dearly loved to see the baby Godzilla get just tossed around. Like they could have had a lot of fun with that, but the adult Godzilla and the baby Godzilla ones had some very had a severe case of Muppet eyes. But like I didn't hate that design. It definitely wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it. Watching the silly Godzillas throw down was good for a laugh. Like consistently good for a laugh. When they used to throw in the little steppy stomper on in like at least once or twice in a fight scene. I do honestly think some of my very favorite little bits from Godzilla movies is just watching the person in that giant rubber suit trying to get up after they get knocked down in a fight. Like that struggle is real. And it shows. It's hilarious. It never stops being hilarious. I think I might leave it that size. I like it. It's wrong, but it makes it it pleases me. It's one of those things where when I if you were to ask me what size Art the Clown's hat was from just watching the movies, I would have said it was a tiny hat. Like a comically small little tiny hat. Like it reads smaller than it actually is. These really hollow eye sockets. Very very deadite kind of eye socket designs. Always. Like I fight doing that on a. I guess it's not so bad. There's a thing that you see quite often on sculpts that are, you know, people weren't really thinking about the anatomy much, and you have these like these bony eye sockets that would stick way out like blinders. Like the eye is really recessed inside them. And that always annoys me slightly in a character. Like unless it's clearly like caricatured. I've seen a couple of versions of like the smiley face skull, like the yellow Walmart smiley face looking thing skull that has really sunken eyes in the like skull sockets, and that sort of works from a design when they're kind of rounded out. I've seen it like several times. I don't know if I've seen or really noted the Ron English version, but it would not surprise me. Like I've seen a few different people do mask versions of it. I even did a mug with the like yellow. Mine was very elongated when I did it for a one-off mug, but yeah, like it's a kind of obvious design. Art really doesn't have wrinkly under eye area. Original grin. He does have, he has a very different texture than what I usually would do. That may take me an iteration or two. May actually start playing with some texture soon, just to kind of see because I don't tend to do the sponge stipple kind of texture that often. But that seems to be the primary texture that I'm seeing on the actual like prosthetics. I really like my if I'm gonna do like a very fine, almost believable texture, I really like this tool. For these like fine, delicate lines. It is made from a cat hair brush. And just cut it way down. And you can really get like, you can get fairly aggressive texture with it. or you can get, you know, fairly gentle texture just by going different directions. But that does not feel right for art clown. His face paint does look very like very thickly stippled, sponged on. It doesn't have a very human skin kind of look at all. So I may end up doing much more of a stipple than I usually do. But I am going to try a few things and see what works, what I like on this scale. It's also got a very even texture, which I really don't do. Let's see, where's my... You know what, let's try some of this. See if we can get some of that. I mean, in certain scenes in the movie, like it does look like just a heavy paint application, but I'm looking at some of the like close-ups and higher resolution things, and there's a alcohol makeups. I think alcohol makeups tend to be the more naturalistic ones that are applied very, very thinly. I would think more like a arts makeup always made me think of like the old-fashioned grease paint, like pan. Like those, yeah, like a, I don't know if it's like a theatrical makeup or like a clown makeup, but like something that somebody put on real thick with like a heavy sponge, you know? Yeah, like wondering if I can get some like directionality and make it look right for the makeup, but also not quite that even. Like, I feel like if I just did I mean, I suppose I can just try it. Herman just trying it. I mean, art definitely does not contour. Art does the opposite of contouring.
What's the contouring?
Flattening. Like that is unblended white pan makeup, grease paint. Oh, I mean, that's probably almost as close as I'm gonna get to accurate. I don't know if I can live with that. I don't know if that's even picking up on cam. I'm really just pressing in hard with a very coarse brush.
What are you doing?
Can you see any of this texture in here?
I mean, I can see that there is texture.
Yeah, because like the prosthetic, at least in the shots that I'm seeing, is very it's a stipple sponge. Like it's pressed in with a stipple.
Right.
Like a stipple sponge, and I don't know. I don't know if I could cope with that on a sculpt.
Okay.
It's not.
Well, that might be one of those things where it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. None of this has to be accurate. It has to be.
I mean, when I have it blown up all the way, I can.
You can just see the texture.
Let me just make sure it's in focus. I think it is. I just want to. You know what? I can zoom in.
You can zoom in.
I have the ability.
You could. Yeah, like I feel like that's. There's a difference between right and accurate.
How's that look?
Okay, fixing that because he looks like he has a Hitler mustache. Repairing that immediately.
Okay.
Don't
judge me.
Don't take that out of context. I'm not having a.
Problem is now that we're up close, the focus is going to be
very
super
specific.
picky.
But yeah, I don't. Just like you can see that. Actually, let me send you this super like tight thing.
Okay.
So you can put that up on.
Is that okay. It's like that almost looked like a painting rather than a photo.
No, well, it may be touched up a little bit somehow.
It has looked like he had a Hitler stash for a while now.
Well, then I just noticed it. All right, but that's the, I believe that was a production shot from.
All right,
it was used for some of the like DVD box art for 2, I think. I have that, and I have no, it very much is a stipple sponge. You know what might save this a bit for me? The art like where the prosthetic is thin around the mouth, and you see you can actually see you can see David Thornton's like actual mouth kind of in around the thing. Like that might sell it for me a bit better. because you can really see the, yeah, see, I'm looking at that initial, the actual like prosthetic sculpt, and the stippling is there. Like there's definitely a stipple texture, but it's much softer.
Go.
I'm gonna try contrasting. That stipply, that heavy stipply texture with some
It
more.
shows really good with snows in that picture.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it shows like it shows pretty well, but it's not showing me something that I like. It's not showing me.
Okay.
I don't like to do like uh yeah, like some of the reference pics that I've gotten from the actual movie itself, but like a lot of that is going to be from just that tiny little bit of blur that you get from motion in the film, or just the fact that it's not like an ultra close up photograph. Um, the actual like the actual prosthetic sculpt um, has a more varied texture. Like it's a little smoother on the nose, and it's a little more, coarse around the undersides of the cheeks. And there's a switch in texture around the mouth area too, that gives it some like, you get some variety, you get some kind of more realistic texture. Like that extremely close-up shot, it may be blown out a little bit, but I mean, art's supposed to have like an exaggerated, like that's not art's skin texture, it's art's makeup texture, so it's supposed to be a little weird, a little wrong. And it's also obviously for a film, so it's designed to like pick up and look good in darker environments, and but right in front of me, right in person, it looks like somebody who just, they've made their like second or third latex mask, and someone just pointed out, yeah, you want to put like texture on latex, and they just literally just hammered it with the stipple sponge. Oh, if I beat that back enough. And I don't know, I may have to. This may be one of those situations where I have to put it on and live with it a little bit too. Because that was like, it's clearly a choice that was made. To do that kind of a texture. And do that, you know, leave it kind of weird, wrong, and artificial looking. So it may be one of those cases where you know, I'm looking at it and it looks wrong because it's not what I expect. It's not what I'm used to. And if I let it sit, if I live with it a little bit, get over the initial shock, I will understand the choices better. And that's a definite possibility. That I am just prejudging this texture too harshly.
Any glamour shots for the hex foot other than that group shot you did the other day?
I took a few pictures outside.
Do I have those?
I would assume so. I would think so. They weren't fantastic. I'm not.
Okay. So do I need to take glamour shots?
You can do whatever you want, but need is probably a strong word. I think what we need to do is we need to take some.
It's been a while.
It has. We might need to take some video of a 7-Eleven putting Slurpee in that thing.
Okay.
We may also need to take some foot fetish picture things with stomping on beans and I mean, I feel like
if we're gonna do that, now's the time.
I know. I feel
launching
that. I feel like if we, I mean, I'm willing to do it after. I'm more than willing to support this after. Is this Art the Clown really just moving right the hell along? Like, does it?
Why do you sound surprised?
Is that really a thing that's happening here? Is this just happening?
Okay, I don't think.
All right, well.
Do you need your phone?
No, I suppose not. Here. I know where they are too.
Actually, where are you working? Are you still working around the mouth?
I'm working kind of all over.
Okay.
A little
Well,
bit again.
okay, so should I reframe the camera or are you good?
You can probably reframe the camera.
What would you like?
Just give me the.
You know I can do that.
I know,
Okay.
but I want to make sure. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have these.
Nope. Let me do it.
They're not good. You're not in your little Google photo
No, I know.
app
That's
thing
why I said let me do it.
either.
Because that's easier.
Whatever, you say so.
June 20th.
I mean, you can just do it from right there.
I guess that's easy too.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't have to find them again. And then I can have my reference back.
Did you want your reference back?
I mean, I do eventually. I meant to just do some like
Stole it.
beginnings of looking at texture, not really ready to move on to texture.
Only got like 6 minutes left.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're making pores. Yeah, this is happening very quickly. I thought for sure there would be more back and
Do you
forth.
think that just because the last one took a really long time?
No, I don't think that just because the last one took a really long time. I thought that because I know Art the Clown is going to be fairly or can be fairly challenging to sculpt because of the whole makeup thing and you know, exaggerated features. Well, I mean, I started the last one over a bunch of times because I wasn't fully clear on what I wanted to do with it. This one, I mean, we're not done for sure. He was too adorable, yes. But yeah, no, this one isn't done. We still have some pose to work out. I need to do the teeth properly. I need to... Oh, actually. You know, that is really weird. I was just looking at the hat on that reference. Not the hat, the like head sock thing. And that is decidedly a nylon satin kind of material, but it almost looks like suede in this shot.
Right.
That part is in some shots. I'm not seeing it in this one in particular. There's just some like light puckers. But I mean, I will probably add some of it for like making it more clearly cloth. Once I get this head this facial shape more or less straightened out. Yeah, I've got to do some. Obviously, the ruffles are going to need to be a thing, and I do want to consider somewhat how I do the costuming portions to give it more of that ye olde porcelain clown aesthetic. Need to consider refrigerating art before the next stream too.
Refrigerating?
Yes, because I want to be fairly specific about the teeth. And the colder the monster clay is, the harder it is, and the more little tight carving I can get.
Okay, cool.
If I had one of those squirt air canisters, I could do the quick version, which I suppose could be a thing. As well. Yeah, it does look like it is 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So I think we've made some pretty decent progress.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
He doesn't look, yeah, he looks fairly Art the Clown. Chin might be, well, doesn't show from that angle. The chin might be slightly off. But oh wow, no, that looks. Review the footage. But yeah, I will I think what I will do is take some good close video of him moving and then post it to the socials.
Cool.
And I'm gonna figure out which side of this nose needs fixing.
Okay. Cool.
I may do that off camera, so I don't forget to do it. Have a good night. Thanks for swinging by.
Later, Pain.
Later, Pain. I hope you enjoyed the stream.
Catch you in a few.
Yep.
Bye.
We'll be back here on Thursday.
Yarn.